Gunji Fukfu translates into taming the tiger in an H-shaped footwork pattern. The character kung is the noun for the verb character kung in kung fu. It means work. In this context, however, its usage refers to the shape of the written character, which is similar to an H turned on its side. This shape best describes the footwork pattern of the form. Gunji Fukfu is commonly believed to be the oldest Hung-gar form still in existence, created by Hung He Guan 7 generations ago. Some legends attribute the name Hung-gar as a derivation of Hung He Guan. It is more credible that the name derives from Hung Swan, which refers to the Chinese opera houseboats where the Shaolin monk Ji Sim Si covertly taught revolutionaries kung fu after escaping the destruction of the Fujian Shaolin Temple. Hung-gar is well suited for the practice on boats. The deep stances lend themselves to an unstable boat deck, and the short hand techniques are most useful in the cramped quarters of a boat cabin or galley. Hung He Guan was a student of Ji Sim Si. Hung was a tea merchant by trade, and his skill in kung fu won him the name the Southern Fist. Gunji is traditionally the first form taught to the student of Hung-gar. It contains many of the basic techniques characteristic to this system of combat. The Kyu Sao, or bridge hand, is one of the most recognizable techniques of Hung-gar. In the Kyu Sao, the index finger is extended at a 90-degree angle from the forearm. The 3 remaining fingers curl in tightly, leaving no gaps, and the thumb curls down and hooks at the joint. Gunji, like most southern forms, is a long form, stressing endurance and sustained power. Many sequences will be repeated in left-right mirror image to train ambidexterity. This form will be taught in 20 lessons. Each lesson will begin with footwork, proceed to hand techniques, and finish with applications. Many of the hand techniques in this form are practiced in doubles, where the same technique is performed with both hands simultaneously and symmetrically. Doubles allow for more challenging yet economical practice. These techniques are applied in singles. Start at attention, with your legs strong and straight and your spine erect. This form begins with arm techniques, so initially your footwork is stationary. Step forward into a right twist stance. Then forward into a left cat stance. Step backward into a right twist stance, then backward to standing straight again. Starting with your fingertips, curl your fist up until your forearms are horizontal. Open your palms and extend your arms forward with your fingertips pointed up. Turn your palms in and curl your fist in making your forearms parallel. Bring your fist to your ears. With elbows out, then extend your arms to the sides in Kyu Sao. 3 times, keeping your wrist at shoulder level. Bring your palms by your ears, block down, then jab. Then drop your forearms down, fingers up and thumbs out. Bring your left tiger claw to your right side, fist and salute. Bring your fist in, elbows up, then circle them back to your sides. In this single block down, the fingertips are pulled back and the block is made with the palm. The jab slides up the arm into the throat. Move your feet, heel, toe, sinking down into the horse stance. Double block down with fingertips pointed toward each other. Bring your palms in together and extend fingertips up and thumbs forward. Extend your forearms forward in the Q-Sow 3 times. Your horse stance must remain stable, maintaining the same low height for the duration of this lesson. Double block up, pull down, and double palm strike with your palms. Drop your forearms down, finger up, thumbs forward, double high block with the palms, double flank block, cross your fist and back fist block. Bring your fist to your sides. Make sure that your feet are parallel and flat on the floor. Following a block up, the wrist is flipped over to pull down, then this push rides the arm up to the throat. In this application of the high block with palms in, flank block, and back fist block, the final block is made with the alternate hand. This double technique is broken down into a single alternating hand application instead of a same hand application. Step out into a right cat stance, then back into a left bow. Block and kick with your right toe and land in a horse, quickly shifting to a right bow. Move your right foot, heel, toe, then pivot into a left cat stance. Step forward into a left bow and arrow, pivot on your left leg and into a left twist stance. Step forward into a right bow and arrow, shift the horse, then back to a right bow, then to a horse stance again. Keep your fist at your sides, then block with your left forearm with your right fingers pointing at your left shoulder. Keep your fist at your sides, then block with your left forearm with your right fingers pointing at your left shoulder. Block up to the side with your left forearm, then block straight up. Chop diagonally down with your left, then block up and to the side with your left foot. Block your left flank, then push with your left palm. Strike your left elbow, then left jab. Left flank block and left push. Left low back fist to the center, then left back fist to the side. Return your fist to your side. In this block and kick, the block deviates the path of the opponent's attack just enough to get inside to strike. The forearm block controls the opponent's fist with the right hand. This second block crosses the opponent's arm up to him at a disadvantage. Retreating into twist stance provides the distance for the flank block and the wind-up for this push. Lunging into the bow stance places all the body weight into the strike of the opponent's throat. Step out into a left cat stance, then back into a right bow. Block and kick with your left toe and land in a horse, quickly shifting to a bow. With your left foot, heel, toe, then pivot into a right cat stance, step forward into a right bow, pivot on your right leg into a right twist stance, then step forward into a left bow, shift to a horse, then back to a left bow, then to a horse stance. Keep your fist at your sides, then block your right forearm with your left fingers pointing out at your left shoulder. Chop diagonally down with your right, then block up and to the side with your left. Block your right flank, then push with your right palm. Strike with your right elbow, then your right jab. Right flank block and right push. Right low back fist to center, then right back fist to the side. Return your right fist to your side. Step out into a right cat stance, then lunge forward into a right bow and arrow stance. Shift back to a right cat stance, then lunge forward into a right bow again. Block across your head with your right hand, strike with double tiger claws, left, then right, pull. With both your hands to level of your waist. Repeat the claw and pull. On the third claw, pull down to a low center while shifting into a cat stance. Lunge forward and claw again. Here, the first right claw is used to block and control the opponent's wrist. After the face rake, the left claw pulls from the elbow. The second right claw moves up to the elbow and the left claw rakes again. In the low claw, the ankle and knee are grabbed, and this strike is aimed at the throat and the navel. Shift to a left bow, then back to a left cat. Lunge forward into a left bow and arrow stance. Shift back to a left cat stance, then lunge forward into a left bow again. Shift to a left twist stance. Grab horizontally with both hands, ending with both fists at your left shoulder. Block cross your head with your left hand, strike with double tiger claws, right then left, then pull with both of your hands to your right at your waist level. Repeat the claw and pull. On the third claw, pull down to the center while shifting into a cat stance. Lunge and claw again. Grab horizontally with both hands twice, ending with both fists at your right shoulder, then by your left shoulder. This horizontal grab controls the wrist while pinching the muscles of the forearm. This block crosses the opponent's arms, then the claw controls the elbow and strikes to the throat. Step through a horse stance into a right bow. Shift back to a right cat stance, then lunge forward to a right bow. Repeat this footwork twice. After the third lunge into a bow, shift back into a horse stance, then forward to a right bow. Shift back to a right cat, then forward to a horse, then shift right to a bow. Double block down. Block high with your left palm, then your right. Slap your left forearm, right block up, then chop diagonally. Block high and right chop, double grab with your left fist and double back fist. Double flank block, then double jab. Double high block, then double push. Double grab with your left fist up, double back fist to your sides, then left hook punch and right uppercut. This first application shows the entire initial blocking sequence of Lesson 7. Note that in the first kick block, both palms are on the shin as opposed to fingertips pointing towards each other. In application, the double back fist is not held symmetrically. Instead, one of the fists strikes to the neck and the other to the elbow. In this jab, instead of holding both hands together, the left is used to smother the opponent's fist. Here is an example of a double block and a double push that is applied exactly as in the form instead of a single action. When the left hook is blocked, it immediately changes into a maneuver to pull down the opponent's fist to make an opening for the uppercut. Step diagonally into a right bow. Then diagonally to a left, then to a right, then diagonally to left. Bring your right foot up to your left foot, pivot to face back and stand up straight. Grab with your right and strike with your left forearm. Grab with your left and strike with your right forearm. Repeat, right grab, left strike, and then left grab, right strike. Bring your fist in, elbows up, and circle them to your sides. This forearm strike relies on the backhand maintaining its grip and weakness of the elbow. It attacks from the outside, crossing the opponent's arms, making it difficult to backhand. Move your feet, heel, toe, sinking into the horse stance. Set your horse stance. The horse stance must remain stable at all times while performing these hand techniques. Step into a left cat stance, then lunge forward into a left bow, step diagonally back into a right bow, then back into a left bow. Double block down, with fingertips pointing each other. Bring your palms together and extend fingertips up and thumbs forward. Extend your forearms forward in the Q-Sao 3 times. Double block up, down, and double jab. High block, double cross block, and double outside back fist block, and chamber in. Bring your fist to your sides, both palms to your left side, then push. Grab with your right and strike with your left forearm, right high block, then left chop with your right hand by the elbow. In this application, all the hand techniques are done to one side, without the stance turning. These first two techniques attempt to cross up the opponent's arms. This final chop rides up the opponent's shoulder to his neck. Pivot into a right cat stance, then lunge forward into a right bow. Step diagonally back into a left bow. Then diagonally back into a right bow. Step out into a left bow, then forward into a right bow. Sweep left to end in a low bow. Bring both palms to your right side, then double push. Grab with your left and strike with your right forearm, high block, back step, and double chop. Low sweep, step forward, double high block, around low sweep into a double hook. This double low block catches the kick at the knee and the ankle, then circles forward to the takedown. In this second application, the opponent escapes the takedown by pivoting with the block. The follow-through sweep attacks at the knee with the hook strike. Bring your left foot to your right and kick with your right toe. Jump and spin around into a horse stance. Shift to a left bow. Shift back to a left cat. Forward into a left bow. Repeat this footwork twice. After the third lunge into a bow, shift back into a horse, then forward to a left bow. Shift back to the left cat, then forward to the horse, into the left bow. Shift back to horse, then forward to the left bow. Bring both fists to your side. Double block down. Right high block, left slap block, up, down chop, forward, block and chop with the right hand extended, pull, double back fist, flank block, double jab, pull open, double palm strike, pull, the double side block, hook punch, right pull and a left uppercut, Q-style bridge hand block into a right flat punch. Shift to a horse stance, then to a right bow. Pivot to a left crane stance, then step forward into a horse, then forward again into a horse. Shift to a right cat, to a forward. Back step and strike with your right elbow. Step in and over with your left elbow. Up, down block with the back fist, around to a swing down chop. In, chamber at the side into a double palm strike. After blocking the punch, step in with the right and follow in with the left elbow strike. The crane stance is an evasion for a leg sweep. Grab and follow around with a chop. Bring your left foot to your right, then transition from a horse to a bow. Right unicorn step, horse to a bow, left unicorn step, horse to a bow, horse to a bow, right horse to a bow, back step horse into a bow, back step to the other corner horse to a bow, horse to a bow again. High left block into a short punch, unicorn step circles around, double palm strikes. These techniques repeat for both sides. High block, center punch, high block, center punch, low block, center punch, and low block, center punch to the back, and again to the front. The block in this unicorn step counters a kick, then a punch, each crossing the opponent's limbs up. These twist stands sneak in so that the double palm strike can start at a very close distance. pivot into a horse, then left bow, then forward to a right horse, then forward to a bow, then left bow, back step into a bow stance, then right heel kick, pivoting around into a horse stance. Chop left, then right punch. Grab at the wrist, sink in into the elbow strike, low groin strike into a back fist. Back step around to a double block into the chop, grabbing the other opponent's strike into the heel kick. After your attacking fist is grabbed, break the grab, step in with the right elbow, low groin strike, and follow through with the back fist. The circle block is applied from right down to left into the left palm strike. A left reverse low bow, then forward. Shift to right reverse bow, then step backward into a right twist, then wind into the horse. Left low block, then two-finger jab to the eye, pull, backhand block, crossover low block, turn, and chamber. This low block covers a kick to the groin area. Then the right finger jab will poke directly into the eyes and then pull down. Both high and low blocks are made with the same hand. The twist stance opens the distance between fighters and breaks off the immediate threat. Jump up and step forward to a bow stance. Right leg out horse into a bow, left out horse into a bow. Right leg forward to a bow, into a cat stance, forward bow stance, step left to right, toe kick, jump, and landing in a horse stance. Swing your fist. Right front to left rear, then high block and left palm strike, low block, scoop grab, pull in, and double push throw. Toe kick, and landing in the horse stance. This jump is to elude a sweep. The left arm will block a punch while the arm of the right hand swings up into the arm area. The right hand outward blocks, while the left penetrates into the solar plex area. This left palm is a leg grab and throw. Step back into a left bow. Sweep with the right 7-star stance, foot turned inward and step backward into the left bow. Shift to a right bow, then step into the left bow. Left low block, grab and pull. Right punch, then retract, grab left and right, then pull left. Pull right as you sweep, then push back to center, strike with double tiger claws, right block and left strike, then block and right strike. The left low block and left grab and pull sets the opponent up for the right punch. Note that the stance change is what gives the punch power. The opponent's grab is grabbed along with his flank. The opponent is then pulled off balance. As he tries to regain balance, he falls victim to follow up a sweep. This sequence is a continuation of the last application. The opponent evades the sweep by picking up his leg, only to fall prey to an arm lock and back step locking his knee. Here is the application of the tiger claw technique. The first claw blocks, the second rakes the face. Step forward into a right twist dance. Unwind into a horse, then left bow. Step forward to a right cat, then to a right bow. Double dragon claw, Q-sow block into a punch, low block, high, circle around, pull and punch. These dragon claws and Q-sow serve as retreating blocks. This footwork sets up the counter punch. Four attacks are blocked with one circular arm technique. The final change in direction of your left hand with the grab opens up the opponent's flank. Step to a left cat, then to a left bow. Into a right cat, into a right bow. Into a left cat, into a left bow. With your left arm, circle block your flank, head, flank, then grab and punch with your right. Block to your right with both palms, then palm strike, left hand on top, then repeat the reverse. Step forward through a horse into a right bow, backward to a right cat, forward to a right bow. Bring your feet together, then through the horse to a left bow. Step back into left cat, and circle back step, feet together at attention position. Double low blocks, then hook punch, pull, and jab. Low block, forward left claw, bring it in, Q-sow block, right punch, retract, salute, in, and chamber. The left side of this double block serves as a preparation for the hook punch. This panther fist is aimed directly at the eyes. Here is another application of the tiger claws. This block is with a retreat so it covers a kick. This claw rakes the sternum. Again, Seafool Lamb performs the entire set. Because of the composition of this set, different camera angles were used to provide the best view of each lesson. Since there is a lot of diagonal footwork, use this sequence to be sure that you are aligned correctly with your point of origin. Every set begins and ends at the same position on the floor. If you are ending up facing the wrong direction, some correction must be made. When practicing this set, do not rush the movements. Students often become preoccupied with a quick application and recite the movements too quickly. Keep in mind that these exercises are practiced with isometric and/or dynamic tension. Gunji Fukfu is unique in Hung Gar For opening the set with an exercise sequence, other sets begin with the salute first. By performing these movements too fast, students deny themselves the benefits of a good forearm workout.
Hi everyone, this is George Chung. Welcome to Kick Magazine, along with my lovely co-host Cindy Rothrock, who will be joining me later with a self-defense lesson. We'd like to welcome you to the only martial art television show seen here in San Jose. It's a show that's seen every Tuesday night at 8:30 and Thursday night at 8 o'clock on Channel 2B, your public access channel. And it's very rare that we have here on Kick Magazine bona fide masters and experts in the art of Kung Fu, and the traditional aspect of Kung Fu. And tonight we have such a man who's been teaching here in San Jose for nearly a decade, Sifu, or instructor in Chinese, Wing Lam. Sifu Lam, welcome to Kick Magazine.
Thank you.
Compared to many martial artists that have studied here in America at commercial schools or throughout the United States, your training started actually overseas in Hong Kong. Can you tell me a little bit about your first training?
Okay, our training in Hong Kong is a little different. Okay, the school, they open every day. Okay, and also the Sifu live in the studio, so you can go there anytime you want. Okay, also they don't have a class schedule. Okay, you can go to field school.
Kind of a drop-in schedule.
That's it,
go
right.
As you learn.
Okay, right. Okay. Also, you go stay every day, you practice. You don't get the lesson every time.
Oh.
Okay, so the Sifu, watch you, correct your mistake. When you feel ready to go on, then they teach you.
Is there an advantage or disadvantage toward that type of training?
Well, I think that this way, I think it's better. It's more traditional this way, okay, because you need to spend more time to work with it before you get your lesson.
In your own training that you had in Hong Kong, now in the training that you teach here in the United States, do you have any differences in your teaching when you teach here in America?
Depend on the students, okay? Some people here, they just want to come in for the lessons. I teach them every time when it comes in. But some people, they want to learn real good, teach their own way. Okay.
Is your school open like you do in Hong Kong? Do you
not exactly. We have schedules,
right.
Okay? Yeah, so for people, comes in, certain times, we don't overcrowd the class.
Right, kind of voting to the American standards.
Yes,
right?
have to.
When you started training in Hong Kong, I'm sure the martial arts are much more popular overseas than they are here in the United States. There's so many schools in Hong Kong to choose from, I would imagine, especially in martial arts. The system that you teach, can you tell me a little bit about it?
Okay, the system of teaching is the one is called Northern style. They're pretty famous in China. Okay, I would say 90% of the martial art are Northern style.
Now, what does Northern style have that maybe Southern style or the Eastern or Western style doesn't have?
Okay, we only have two styles, say Northern and Southern, but not known Eastern style.
Right.
Okay, and the Northern style, they normally the people in North part of China, they're bigger. Okay, so the country more kicking. Okay, a lot of jumping. Okay, and South part of China is a smaller people, so they have concentrate more on the certain technique. Okay, not the overhaul the whole body.
So your Northern style, longer stance, kicking.
Yes.
Southern style, shorter body,
right.
Shorter techniques. Does that also carry through if a person is practicing, we'll say, to give you an example, if a tall person comes to you and says, I'd like to learn Southern style, does that present a problem?
No, it's no problem at all, okay? Yeah, because we do have some big people in some part of China, okay? But the system has been developed that way.
And it adapts to the person and their own personal needs. The style that you teach here now, you teach both Northern and Southern style. Is it difficult for a person to learn both styles at once, or do you teach each style separately?
We do teach different styles separately because the basic is different. Okay, stance are different. The way to stretch out is different too.
If I came to you, we'll say I came to you as a beginning student, and I said, Sifu Lam, I'd like to learn Kung Fu. Would you then recommend me a style to teach or to take, or would you just watch the way I move and then eventually lead me to a better style?
Okay, so we have our students are beginners. Okay, so actually they have no background.
Right.
Okay, so I like to ask them, what style do they take? Do they familiar with the style or not? Okay, then I explain the difference between two styles. Okay, then ask what they like.
In the system that you teach, does it also employ a lot of weapons?
Yes.
Traditionally, the Kung Fu styles have always been famous for the weapons, and the traditional weapons of the sword and the spear. Once again, does your school specialize in a certain weapon the students like to use the most?
We do teach all kinds of weapons.
So you overall very general.
Yes.
As far as the growth of Kung Fu here in the United States has been growing by leaps and bounds, a very fascinating gentleman by the name of Bruce Lee made a big splash here in the United States in the early 70s when his movies made a great claim to fame as Kung Fu being a very popular art throughout the world. And of course, when that happened, many people started using the name Kung Fu as a sort of means of developing their martial art as a more of a media type advertisement rather than teaching the authentic art using the name Kung Fu, of course, would draw a lot of interest, but not all the people conformed to the traditional trainings of Kung Fu. When that happened, when the Bruce Lee era came about and everybody started using the word Kung Fu, did that affect your school at all?
No. When people come in, they say what, they will find out the difference.
Right.
Okay.
Is there a big difference between movie Kung Fu and Kung Fu that you teach?
It does, okay. It really makes a lot of difference, okay. In movie Kung Fu, okay, they have some movement it's unable to do. Unless you have a springboard, things like that.
Right. So a lot of trick with the camera and, of course, trick with trampolines. When a student comes to you and they train, we'll say you put them on a training schedule of 3 or 4 times a week. When they take that training schedule, is it difficult for a lot of the students? I know in the Kung Fu system it's very elaborate. Do all the students pick up at a pretty even pace, or are some students slower than others when they're learning your style?
Yeah, some students are slower, okay. So
how do you adapt to a student like that? That is having
you just have to spend more time to it, that's all.
One of the instructors on the show, Cynthia Rothrock, who specializes in the Eagle Claw Ying Jiao Pai system, will be giving us a self-defense lesson in a few moments. But right now it's time for our first story, which is Ed Fong in the instructor segment for this week. And Ed Fong will be continuing with his lesson from Jose. And right now, a demonstration in the beautiful system of Kung Fu from the students of the Wing Lam Kung Fu School, in Sunnyvale, California. Gentlemen can take the floor and see, well, what are they going to be doing first?
Okay, okay, Tom's go to northern side first, okay? Number 6? Yeah. 7? Yeah, number 7 form in Silam style.
And the word Sulam is the actual word for Shaolin or
Sulam is a Cantonese, Shaolin is a Mandarin. Okay.
Now, unlike the movements of the karate system, where many of the movements are self-explanatory, a lot of the movements that you have here have different meanings in the strikes and in the patterns. When a student does this, do they actually apply the movements later on in drills?
Yes, after you notice that well, then we try to pick it out.
So he will learn to apply all the techniques that they learned before. Now, at what level would a student learn the form that he has just performed?
Okay, that's student style second form, number 7. Okay?
That's your second form?
Second form, okay, besides the basic form. Okay?
Right.
So I say you learn this set in about first year.
Well, within the first year, that elaborate of a set.
Yes.
What are we going to be seeing next?
Okay, the next one will be the little more advanced as the Silam number 1, okay?
Now, once again, just by what you've told me in our conversation, more kicking techniques, I would imagine this would be a northern style set.
Yes, it is.
The acrobatic movements that we're seeing, the jumping kicks and the splits, are they traditional in the Kung Fu training?
Yes, for the northern style.
Many times, often in martial arts, we don't see such elaborate or acrobatic techniques that are used, and once again, that are applied within a self-defense system. Very beautiful, the northern style of Kung Fu. Before we get into the next form, the use of animals in Kung Fu system, your tiger, your crane, your snake, are they employed in the system that you teach? 5 animals?
The southern styles only.
Okay. And what are we going to be seeing right now? Southern style form?
Yeah, southern style form, that's the animal we're talking about. It's called 10 animal form. Okay.
Now, within the form, he demonstrates the basic animal techniques?
Yes, the first form is the dragon form, suppose, like, from the sound. Okay.
This is the dragon form?
Yes,
Now, will he be demonstrating different animals throughout the form?
Yeah, the whole form, it covers the 5 different animals
5
and 5 elements.
Now, would the dragon be synonymous with tension or?
Yes, tension and sound is supposed for internal breathing.
Mm-hmm. Now, what are the sound representations that he's making? Is that the sound of a dragon? Or?
Yes, that's why it's dragon form. And also the sounds try to build up the part the internal system.
Mm-hmm. To bring out the best or the power within the man.
Yes.
Now, once again, would this be a form that a beginner would learn, or would this be one of the more advanced?
That's the most advanced in the Sun style.
Mm-hmm. What length of time would a person take before he would learn a set like this?
About 4 to 5 years.
In that complex of nature.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, he's going into another set of hand movements. Is this once again the dragon, or is he going into another animal?
Still in the part of the dragon form.
Left